I want to take a moment and talk about my white privilege in the context of the current political climate based on an experience I had where being white did not protect me. While walking home from the grocery store one night in May of 2016, about an eighth of a mile from my house, I passed a quote-unquote person of color walking the opposite direction. It was a hot night, somewhere between 90 and 95 degrees at 9:30 at night here in Vegas, and so he was only wearing a pair of shorts. So as he walked by me, I paid him no mind and didn't consider him to be a threat. I turned the corner to the street where I lived, where it's dark, and I heard footsteps coming up behind me rapidly and turned around just in time to watch him hit me in the back of the head with a floor tile, a fragment of a floor tile. I had a neighbor who'd done some remodeling, and so there were some broken floor tiles. He threw me to the ground, ripped my backpack off of me, and I moved away from him. He then proceeded to go through my backpack and asked me, "Where's the cash?" All I had in it were some groceries I'd picked up and two 50-round boxes of .357 Magnum ammunition. I did not want to go straight to my house because I didn't want him to know where I was, and as soon as he discovered there was no cash in the bag, he continued to pursue me. So I moved towards a neighbor's house who I knew was home as I pulled out my cell phone and proceeded to call 911. I don't remember the things that he said, but they were vulgar, obscene, and threatening. And once he knew I was talking to the dispatch, he, however, turned tail and ran. In order to give a more appropriate description of my assailant, I actually followed him out of the neighborhood and then down into the wash that runs behind my house, where he continued to run in the dark. At this point, the dispatcher asked me, "Are you following him?" And I said yes, and she said, "Please don't do that." Unbeknownst to me, at the other end of the wash, the police were already there. They were sort of in the area, and they were down there looking for him, but it doesn't look like he made it all the way down to the next street a half a mile away. Looks like he jumped through a hole in the fence along the west or the east side of the wash, where the neighborhood had fences in disrepair, and vanished. Later, I found the backpack with a homeless man, and I found a few rounds of ammunition, but that was all I ever recovered. When the cops showed up, they took pictures of my wound, took my statement in my report, and told me that it was very unlikely that they would be able to catch him. And I have seen him twice since then. He did not recognize me, and I did not call the cops because he wasn't doing anything at the time. My point is I was white and he was not. And my being white and an affluent person has been no protector of persons. However, when the police, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, learned that I had had 357 Magnum ammunition stolen from me, one of the officers turned to me and said, "Why didn't you just kill him?" And I said, "Because it seems like a pretty steep punishment to shoot someone over $40 worth of groceries." I didn't need the hassle. I didn't need to have the civil suit, to have his family upset. He hadn't taken anything from me. After he ran away, I no longer felt like I was in danger. Calling 911 seemed to be enough. If I had felt my life was in danger, I might have brandished the weapon, and it's possible I would have shot him. But there was no need to do that. I wasn't really threatened like that, and it seems like a pretty steep punishment. Besides that, when you pull the trigger on a gun, you kill two people. The person that you shoot and the person you used to be. Now, I had never, up until the 2 years before that, when someone threatened to kill me, had a loaded gun in my house. It was under the pillow at home, which is the other reason I didn't shoot anybody. I didn't have the gun. I was buying ammunition. I don't carry a gun around hoping to get into a gunfight. It was at home, under my pillow, where I might expect to have legitimate legal reason to use it on an intruder in the middle of the night. But there are some politicians out there who think that because of my skin color and my race, and because other people have different skin colors and are of different races, that somehow that means that I have some sort of special protective power and privilege, and my whiteness did not protect me from becoming the victim of a violent physical assault and battery with theft. These are multiple felonies committed against me. They had nothing to do with my color. I don't think he attacked me because of my color. The police said they were confused that he would have attacked a lone assailant would attack a lone other man who is seemingly physically capable without being high or just being psychotic. They think he was high on drugs, which is probably why he took the bag, because he needed money to buy more drugs. Of course, that's their profiling. I was just flabbergasted that I even got attacked. I had not perceived him to be a threat. I do threat assessments on everybody that I pass, regardless of what they are, and take down information in case I have to tell anybody who attacked me. It had nothing to do with who he was, and I don't think he attacked me because of my race. I think he attacked me because he was hoping to get something from me of value. He assumed maybe because of my race that I had stuff worth taking. But the point here is that the political narrative that somehow I'm privileged because of my race, which I didn't ask to be. I didn't ask to be born white, any more than they asked to be born some other way, or gay, or whatever. I feel that it's punitive and excessive to slander, libel, and punish me because of something I don't control, and to assume that because I have those things, that my life of necessity is somehow better than yours. I have a good life, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that all I had was some temporary wounds, and that he took stuff from me that was easy to recuperate. I'm glad I didn't take anything from him that I could not give back.